Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Henri is now a hurricane as it barrels towards Long Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut. It is expected to hit the northeast New England area in about 24 hours. But I would like to point out this GFS here that shows a hurricane developing around the 27th, 28th, 29th, and then smacking into Mexico again, which is very bad news because a major Category 3 hurricane just hit Veracruz last night. And so we have a lot going on, and the GFS has also been drawing up another hurricane that comes into the Gulf around September 3rd. And so we will have to keep our eyes on everything, which is what I do here at THORnews. This is my full-time job, yo. And I love it. Even though shit is just going to keep getting crazier and people are going to be getting more insane and arguing and yelling at each other and not listening between now and the 27th, 28th of August. That's my theory. I just woke up and I'm forcing myself to be in a good mood no matter how crazy shit gets. So just letting you know. And yeah, it is going to get freaking all signs. I keep pointing out towards this September 3rd hurricane thing that's going to be coming through this area. But yeah, all signs point towards it's going to get super August and dangerous in the next week or two or three. Here I am working hard for the money. Hey, Matt Lanza, I don't know if I forgot this or if I just didn't know it. I think I forgot it. Matt Lanza, hurricanes and tropical storms that are undergoing extratropical transition in the Northeast often produce the highest rainfall totals on the west or left side of the storm, which runs counter to what you're typically expecting in a hurricane. And my brain had said it's going to be on the right side, but I was wrong. And so, like I keep saying, it's either going to be a Category 1 hurricane or possibly a Category 2. We'll have to continue to watch how it strengthens. It'll be lopsided, but the heaviest of the rainfall will be on the left side or west side of Henri. I may be a clown on the outside, but I'm probably crying on the inside. Dr. Rick Knabb, rapid intensification of grace yesterday is a reminder hurricanes can strengthen more than forecast. Hey, yeah, guys, hurricanes can strengthen more than forecast. So just letting you know, it's within the realm of possibility. Henri reaches Category 2 before moving north of Gulf Stream. It'll weaken before landfall, but landfall intensity depends on, in part, how strong it gets tonight. Mark Suduth, hurricane warning in effect. That's something you don't see very often when traveling on Long Island. That's what she said. And we're still in Leo season, which means exploding and fiery season. Police. We do not have an estimated time for the evacuation zone to end. We continue to encourage residents to evacuate as well as businesses fewer than 1.1 miles of the fire due to dangers of the fire scene. This is Washington. Speaking of explosions, we just had a far side coronal mass ejection, a bright and fast moving coronal mass ejection just exploded away from the sun's southern hemisphere. Soho recorded the eruption. Yep, our sun is re-waking up. We have one sunspot now. We have a new sunspot that is turning towards Earth, and it has more sunspots behind it. But yeah, an active sunspot is emerging over the sun's northeastern limb. It's right here. Yesterday, while it was still hidden, the sunspot unleashed a series of C-class solar flares. The strongest flare caused a low-frequency radio blackout over the Atlantic Ocean. And by the beginning of next week, there could be 2 active regions facing Earth. Hey, I know everybody told you it was going to be a very slow solar cycle 25 and possibly even a grand minimal solar cycle 25. But I just want to remind you again, they were all wrong. So far, this solar cycle has been greatly exceeding everyone's expectations, except for mine and Scott McIntosh's. Looks like this is going to be a very strong solar cycle. Just remind you again, just because people are popular on the YouTubes doesn't necessarily mean they're right. I'm not very popular, but that gives me a lot of room to be correct almost all the time. Oh, I'm humble. It is through the grace and strength of God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit that I'm capable to be such a badass. All right. And I'll work on my humbleness. Yeah, so here's the active region we were watching. And the other thing we were watching is if this big, bad, giant dragon filament pops off towards Earth. That can make things extra more interesting. Oh yeah, back to the hurricane. All right, so reminders of why we're going to take this seriously. 1, it'll be a hurricane. 2, it'll be hitting the Northeast where like millions of people are. 3, on the 22nd, which is tomorrow, you'll have a full moon, so you'll have a high tide. 4, it'll be going slow. 5, it'll do this weird hook curve, kind of hang out, stall for a bit, and then move out. There might be a reason or two that I forget, but I'll try to remember. And then it's got this precipitation shield ahead of it. So it's going to be very floody for a lot of people. And remember this, 6, this area was super saturated by Fred already. Now we're looking at the water vaporiness of it. And yeah, it's definitely a whole wet environment. So you got the storm itself, and then you got more storms that are forming in front of it. Get ready for a whole lot of rain, man, if you're in the Northeast. Speaking of rain, NWS Nashville, Tennessee, calling this a catastrophic flooding situation, saying 8 to 10 inches of rain has fallen in Houston, Umphreys, Dixon, and Hickman counties. Some reports of 11 inches and locally higher amounts. And I think the rain for the Northeast is going to greatly exceed the rain amounts that are guessed. It's been doing that lately. Public health state of disaster has been declared in the city of Killeen as coronavirus spread surges across central Texas. The Caldor fire in California continues to just wreck shop. I think over 100 structures were burned by it over the last few days. And yeah, the power outages that Henri may cause could be epic and record-setting. Will it be between Isaias and Sandy? Probably. But Josh Singrelinelli is saying Hurricane Henri could result in a major power loss statewide. And it could be historic for like New Haven and some areas. Above that, like Hartford, it could just be widespread. And then here, it would be scattered. Yeah, you have a serious flash flood emergency continuing for Dickinson, Tennessee, Waverly, Tennessee, White Bluff, Tennessee. Between 7 and to a foot of rain has already fallen. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. And so I want to say again, if Tennessee's getting hit with like a foot of rain, they grossly underestimated the amount of rain Tennessee would get. And imagine how grossly underestimated some of these areas are. Because this storm is supposed to come in, turn, kind of sit for a second, and then turn back out. So it's going to be a slow mover and heavy problems, man. And Veracruz, Mexico, like I said, got hit super hard by Hurricane Grace. It's a bad scene there, man. This is a look at that Caldor fire that's just been insane, along with the Dixie fire, which has just been huge and record-breaking, second biggest wildfire ever in California. So yeah, I've been warning for a month or 2 or 3 that the 20th through the 27th, we could be seeing hurricanes peaking, coronavirus peaking, wildfire peaking, and then just people losing their minds at each other peaking at the same time during this week. Technically, next 10 days. This is Veracruz. You got coffins floating. So I have to stay optimistic as I give you guys the news all the time because that's just how I am. But yeah, dude, it is scary and dangerous. Although I think I'm post-fear now. Who knows? And all the news is weird. Hey, I'm getting an idea, man. How about we cross-pollinate our corporate ideas and get some ivermectin flavored Doritos? I bet those would sell real majorly. All right, so this is your noon update from THORnews. Comprehensive coverage continues. I want everybody to have a great weekend. I want everybody to stay cool. I want everybody to play defense. I want everybody to make good decisions. And I want everybody to dance a little this weekend. I know you got to work to have fun. Hey, this isn't our first rodeo. And remember, I have this crazy prediction that things will be better by spring of 2022. All right, everybody stay cool and have a great day. Peace out. Talk to you soon. God bless everyone.